Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. And let me tell you, it is hot here. It's about 40 degrees. It's absurd. I don't know what is going on with the weather, but I'm slowly melting. And I'm going to try and distract myself, and hopefully my brain will work for long enough that we can wish Blobz a very happy birthday for tomorrow and have a go at his puzzle Good and Plenty, which apparently is one of his very best. I have to say, I've read the rules before I turned on the webcam, and I think this is remarkable. It's a remarkable idea because these little lines in the grid are effectively just white Kropki dots. So all we're being told is that these digits are consecutive. And if you've solved a few variant Sudokus before, you'll know that this seems underclued to me. Long Renban lines, where you have to have a consecutive series of digits on a 5 or 6 cell line, they're really constraining. But 2 cell lines, not so much. So I think this could be very special. I found it on Logic Masters as well. You can see it's from October 2025, so we must have missed it when it first came out, but it still boasts a 97% approval rating, which is very high given how many solves it's had. And if we just scroll down here, hopefully you'll be able to see yes, you can see those comments on the screen. And basically everyone just says it's absolutely brilliant. One of the best puzzles I've solved in yonks, says Lee Volpina. And Snookerfan, if you always look for Snookerfan's comments, Snookerfan is an exceptional judge of a puzzle. And Snookerfan says this one is beautiful. So we're in for a treat. And happy birthday, Blobz, for tomorrow. I hope you obviously get some heavily iced chocolate cake. Now, let's think about other things I can tell you about before we read the rules to this one. Mark has drawn the winner for our monthly competition. So this was actually Blobz helps us with our monthly competitions because Blobz somehow is able to create these pages where it records how many solves we've had. But the closing date was the 20th, and drum roll please. Mark has selected the winner, which he does. I think he uses a random number generator. And the winner is Mark Skosic. Skosic, I was going to say Skovich, but I think I've written Skosic. Mark Skosic, you are the winner. I've no idea where in the world you are, but I will be writing to you after I finish this video to see if you might be interested in coming onto the channel and trying to solve a puzzle with me. I'd love you to do that, and we can try and make a video together. So well done to Mark, fantastic work. Well done to all of you. You can see nearly 1,000 people managed to solve the whole of the Sudoku hunt. So that is tremendous work. And there will, of course, be a new one on the 1st of July, as usual. What else? Thanks so much, too, if you joined us for last night's Blueprint stream. Mark and I braved the incredibly humid evening, and we returned for the 50th time. I won't spoil what happened, because I know some of you do like to catch up, and some of you weren't able to join us live who have been diligently watching the entire series. But I will say we had fun, and I'll try and remember to put a link to the VOD on the screen now, and of course, we'll be back next week. Well, I think we will anyway. I haven't checked that with Mark. Do subscribe, by the way, if you want notifications of when we do plan to schedule things. Actually, I might be able to do this. This is an exciting idea. Can I do what we've been doing and having this special screen or this number up? I might be able to. Just give me a moment. See live count. Did that work? Yes, it did. Look, we're close to 700,000. We are getting closer by the day. So anything you can do, that's a live counter as well. So it might move during the course of the video. Anything you can do to help us get there. I mean, frankly, it's incredibly kind if you subscribe, obviously, to a strange YouTube channel like this. But it is free to do so, and it does help the algorithm to share these puzzles far and wide. As Mark put it yesterday, frankly, it gives us the best chance of keeping the channel going. So please, if you do enjoy our content, we would really, really appreciate it. Let's see if we can get to 700,000. Unbelievable number. Now, what else? Birthdays. Let me look at my list of birthdays. Adrian, your good friend John wrote to me and told me, I think it's your birthday tomorrow actually, and told me that you send him episodes of Cracking the Cryptic to watch when you particularly enjoy one. That is incredibly good of you. I am so pleased when I hear about people sharing these puzzles far and wide. So we do appreciate it, and so does John. And so I wish you many happy returns for tomorrow. I hope it's a day filled with chocolate cake, and I hope you get to it before the icing melts, which if you're anywhere in Europe at the moment might be tricky. Next, Asa. Asa, your dear friend Maruna wrote to us. It's your birthday tomorrow as well. Maruna said that you're very analytical. I know you're a real puzzle fiend as well, and I think you might set puzzles, and you bring lots of joy into the world, was how Maruna described you, Asa. So Asa, thank you for doing that. You're turning 25, and I hope you have a great birthday tomorrow. Next, we will say this one's for today. Claire Claire might not be in Canada, but I think Claire is from Canada, turning 24 today. I know this because your partner CJ wrote to me and told me you're studying French for the summer. So you will be in, I think in Europe, they've got an even bigger heat wave than we've got here in the UK. So it's going to be warm. You're studying to become a teacher, and CJ thinks you'll be absolutely wonderful at that. So Claire, many, many happy returns for today, and I hope that there is some chocolate cake in store for you. And then finally, last but not least, Kevin, you're turning 28 later this week. I know this because your wife Barbara wrote to me. I think you're in Prague. That's a city I have visited. It was very beautiful. And she is going to try and make sure that there is chocolate cake. So well done, Barbara, and many congratulations on your birthday, Kevin, and enjoy the cake. And that, I think, is all the news. I've probably forgotten something, but shall we say happy birthday to Blobz and have a go at good and plenty, and see what the rules of this puzzle are. Let me just check that the puzzle is on the screen. It's working okay. It looks good. So what do we have to do in order to solve this one? We have got normal Sudoku rules applying. So we're going to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Lost my army with a misclick there. Cells a chess knight's move apart cannot contain the same digit. Right, so let's make the middle digit green. Now, if this was a chess knight, it could jump to all of those. Let's do that colour. All of those indigo cells. And therefore, if this was a 1, none of these digits could be a 1. So cells separated by a single knight's move in chess can't contain the same digit. That is how we normally write the rule. And digits in circles must appear in a cell that touches the circle. So those 4 cells have to include a 1, a 2, and a 4. They have to include a 1, a 2, and a 3, etc. So I can't scroll. There's hardly any more rules. Digits on pink lines are consecutive. So if this was a 2, that could be a 3 or a 1. That is how those lines work, and they are all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, do I have to do ZETAMATH'S is the question. I don't know. I might have to do Potato Head as well, you know. I mean, it's funny to think, if you're new to the channel and I'm spitting out these names like ZETAMATH'S and Potato Head, you must think that we're just a bunch of lunatics, but we're not. We're not. So why am I thinking? What am I thinking? Indeed, that's a good question, isn't it? There is a theorem that exists in Sudoku grids where you can prove that these cells here, these 2x2s in the corner, and you can see they're completely mapped by these circles, they have to appear. Those 16 green cells are going to be the same as these cells, these 16 cells that surround the central box of the puzzle. And that is true for any Sudoku puzzle. And it obviously, it could be relevant here. But there's actually also an extension of that rule that was discovered by somebody called Potato Head. I want to say sometimes goes under the name Sonic Hedgehog or something. Oh, I might be getting this wrong. So on the Discord server, Potato Head goes under a different pseudonym. It might be the Sonic person, but it might not be as well. So I'm so sorry if I've got that wrong. But the extension to this Fistemafel theorem applies in puzzles that have an additional rule. So it doesn't apply in normal Sudoku, but it does apply in a Knight's Move puzzle. And the extension is that all of the digits from 1 to 9 have to make an appearance in this ring in a Knight's Move puzzle, except there could be one missing, but there can only be one missing if there is. And if there is one missing, it goes in the middle of the puzzle. But that is a rule as well. Well, not a rule, it's a theorem that's provable. I think I might try and do this without the theorem, and we'll see if we need it. And if we need any theorems, we'll prove them later. Let's just think about this, because I can see that all of these 2x2s have the digits 1 and 2 in them. And that means that we effectively, the digits 1 and 2 have to appear in those cells, I think, in the puzzle. So the way to see that is to think about row 3 and ask where 1 and 2 go. They can't go in there and they can't go in there because they have to be in these corners. But that logic is completely analogous in column 3, column 7 and row 7, isn't it? So there's a whole congregation, a packing of 1s and 2s, if you like, into these cells. But we've got 2 3s and 2 4s. So don't quite know where they're going. If this was a 1 or a 2, it would have to be a 2, because if this was a 1 to be consecutive with it, that would be a 2, which is impossible. I don't know. The central cell of the grid can't be a 1 or a 2. That is definitely true. And the reason we know this isn't a 1 or a 2 is that, imagine it was a 1, it would actually rule 1 out entirely of row 3, because none of these cells could be a 1, because this 1 sees that one by Knight's Move, that one by Knight's Move, and that one in its column. And that logic would apply actually to row 3, row 7, column 3, and column 7 as well. So that digit is not a 1 or a 2. Right. Okay. Here's a slightly different point then. Look at the central cross of the grid. Now, which one of these cells could be a 1 or a 2? And I'm going to say it's none. And the way to prove that is to think about this cell. Could this cell be a 1 or a 2? No. Because imagine it was, ignore the rem band, that's not necessary. If this is a 1, you can see neither of these can be 1 because of the Knight's Move and Sudoku, so this would have to be a 1. But in this row, neither of these could be 1 because of the Knight's Move and Sudoku, so this would have to be a 1. So you get 2 1s in column 6. But that logic is completely transportable to any cell, any of those cells. So now we've managed to remove 1 and 2, not just from the central cell, but from those cells as well. So 1 and 2 in the middle box have to be in the sort of the edges of the quincunx. The quincunx would also include this cell, but we know that can't be a 1 or 2. I just like saying the word quincunx. Yeah, okay. So now we could ask, where actually are the digits 1 and 2 in these columns and rows? That feels reasonable, doesn't it? Because, of course, so we've just worked out, let's try and do this scientifically, we've just worked out none of those are 1 and 2. Now, these can't be a 1 or a 2, because we know the 1 and the 2 in box 2 are in these cells. So those aren't 1 and 2, these aren't 1 and 2, for the same reason in box 8, these aren't 1 and 2, and these aren't 1 and 2. So the only cells that can actually be 1 and 2 in rows 5 and column 5 are those cells, which presumably... Oh, okay, so now I get a digit. This digit's a 2. Because if that's a 1, to be consecutive with 1, this is a 2, and then that cell couldn't exist. So this is 2, this is 1, this is 3. Now, what does that do? It's doing a little bit by way of night smoothage, isn't it? One's... Oh, wait, that's a 1 on one of these lines. So that's got to be a 2. This 2 is huge. Where is 2 now in the central box of the grid? We've got 4 pencil marks, but this 2 sees these 2 in its row and that one by a knight's move. So the 2 now can only go there, which means this isn't a 2 because of knight's move. So the 2 in row 7 is here, which means this is a 1. We're actually getting somewhere. This now can't be a 1 by knight's move, so this is a 1. Yeah, that's a 1 in the middle box now. This one sees that cell, doesn't it, by knight's move. So 1's only got 1 position. 2 right, 2 is on this line now, so that's got to be a 3 because it can't be a 1. This is a 1, just Sudoku. So we've got a weird pattern of 1s and sort of the opposite pattern of 2s and a 3 in one of those. So 3 must be in one of these 3 cells. And so far, we haven't needed any complicated theorems at all, have we? So I think we were right not to go in that direction. Bobbins now, I don't know what to do. What do you think we do next? I haven't got a clue. I thought it might be 3s, but they don't seem to be they don't seem to be playing ball, do they? Although, okay. Hang on. In this little 2x2, there is a 3. So there's a 3 up there. So there's a 3 in one of those cells. Right, that's useful. That's useful. Look at, we know there's a 3 in box 7 in one of these cells. So again, this 3 pencil mark here allows us to ask a question about column 3. Where's the 3 in it? It's not there. It can't be there, so it's only got 1 position. So that's a 3. And now 3 is in one of those 2 positions. Can't be here because of the knight's move from here. This can't be 3 now because of the knight's move. Oh, no, I was going to say we can get the 3 in this box, but we most certainly can't. If this was a 3, we would know that was a 3. And then I don't know. There isn't necessarily a 3 in this one. So if that had 3 on it, no, we wouldn't know. I was going to say, does it have to have 2? But it could be a 3-4 pair, perhaps. One in this box is restricted. It can't go on this little line, because if it goes on the line, it would be a 1-2 pair. And given I've got a 3, so the reason there's a problem there is if this is 1-2 and this is 1-2, and this needs to have a 1-2 in it, those would be these cells, but we're meant to have a 3 up there. So we couldn't do that. So there's no, so the 1 in this box is off this line, which means it's in one of those 2 cells. That might be fine, I don't know. I don't know what to do now. So how does that work then? So if this is 1, 2, that would be no, that doesn't work either. Right, look at this one. If this is 1, if this is 1, 2, there's a problem in this box. Because if this is 1, 2, it works in this box because this could be a 3 still. But it doesn't work up here because there would be a 1 in this position. That's fine. But the 2 would have to be, oh no, I see a different reason. This isn't the reason I saw, but there are 2 reasons this can't be a 2. One is that it would be a knight's move away from this cell. The other is that it would require a 3 on its little pink line, and there's a 3 there already. So this is definitely not 1, 2, which means the 1 in that box is in one of those cells, which means it's not there. So I get a 1 in the corner. Feels worthy of a song, doesn't it? I tell you what. So this line can't have 2 on it at all, because it would be a 2-3 pair, and this would break. So that's got to be a 2, which means in this box, yeah, that's lovely. In this box, the 2 is on the line, but the 1 isn't. So that's a 2-3 pair. And therefore this is a 3. This is really lovely. It's not so difficult yet, but it's very cool. Now if that's a 1-2 pair, this is a 1-2 pair, isn't it? And we know that 1 therefore can't go here, because that would be a 2 and that would break. So this is a 2, that's a 3, that's a 1. That's not 3 in the corner then. 1 has to be, yes, we're going to get the 1 in this box, I think. Because the 1 has to be in one of those 3 cells, and this cell sees both of those. So we get a 1 here, we get a 1 here. Now we get a 2 in one of these cells by Sudoku. Now this one has got a 4 in its circle. So this has to be a 4-5 line, because it can't be a 3-4 line. And don't know what that does, but I'm sure it does something. 3s, I think, are where 3s are going to be where the magic is. We just have to spot how to do it. So 3 in box 9 is, it's not on this line, because that would have to be a 3-4 pair, but 4 is down here. So or maybe 4 is where we're meant to look, because I've got a 4 up here now, and 4 there. I don't know. So how do we do this? Sorry if you can see it. 4 is in one of those. 4 is in one of these. 5 is in... Oh, here's a weird point, but where are 4 and 5 in column 3 now? They can't be in those cells, so they're down there somewhere. So this digit can't be a 4 or a 5 or a 3. The reason this cell can't be 4 or 5 is that this cell, it's this same point. That cell sees those 3 cells by knight's moves or Sudoku. So that, oh, whoopsie. This digit here has to be not 3, not 4, 5, not 1, 2. So that digit is very, very high. And nearly. I was going to say, where does that digit go in this box? But the fact that it's got 2 places, so we don't know. These digits are all high as well. Oh no, please don't get stuck, Simon. I don't actually know what to do. This is weird. I've just come to an absolute stop. No, that doesn't work. Wow, okay. So that digit can't be in any of those cells. So that digit is in one of those 3 cells. Which, you think that would do something, but well, no, I don't really think. Hang on. So that digit is in one of those 2 cells in box 4, because it can't be here and it can't be in its own column. So it's in one of these 2. If I knew it was on the line, that would be, it wouldn't, to be honest, it wouldn't be terribly enlightening. Oh dear, how many, have I got all the ones? I've got all the ones in the puzzle. I've got 7 2s. I've got a 2 there and a 2 there that I don't understand. I've got a smattering of 3s. But I've got to put 2 3s in the Fistmafell ring. I know I'm not really allowed to use the Fistmafell ring because I've not proved it, but I'm just trying to think about how to even approach the puzzle, to be honest. These digits are both high because they see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, I mean, yes, everything in that row is sort of high, isn't it? These are all 6, 7s, 8s, 9s, and that's a 6, 7, 8, 9 on this thing. How am I meant to do this? Am I just being very dense? The chorus of people saying, yes, yes you are. Yes you are, Simon. Very dense indeed. I don't mean to be. I really don't. I feel very stupid. How is one meant to do this then? This is very strange. I've just come to an absolute halt. It must be something to do with... I mean, it's not Potato Head, is it? Or Fistmafell? I'm just going to have a look at the ring again. Is there something I know of? I've got to put 2 4s in that ring, definitely. Is that difficult to do? That can't be a 4 anymore. That can't be a 4. Oh. So either they're both there, which would put a 4 in the corner, and a 4 here, or one of these is a 4, which may be fine. I don't know. That's very, very strange. I've got to put... No, 2 3s in the ring is much easier. Or, okay, is it Potato Head then? 3, 4, 2. You see, it could be. It could be. Actually, it could be. Because there's a very simple deduction, isn't there, that would... yeah, bother. Right, okay, I am going to have to prove... Well, I think I am going to have to prove this. Because I can see that that cell, for example, is... And that cell, they are 6, 7, 8s, and 9s. In fact, I can see the middle digit of the puzzle. I can see the middle digit of the puzzle is 6, 7, 8, or 9. All right. So we are going to have to go back into the realms of Potato. That's fine. This is fine. If you've never seen this before, it'll blow your mind. Absolutely blow your mind. So to get to Potato Head, we have to go via the medium of Fistmafell. So this is what we'll do. We will highlight some cells in the grid. Boom. There we go. Proved. No, we haven't really proved it. But these green cells, I've highlighted the 36 cells there, the whole of row 3. the whole of row 7, the whole of box 4, and the whole of box 6. So we know exactly the overall composition of those green cells in terms of the numbers overall that are in them. We have no idea how the numbers are disposed within the green cells, but we know overall there will be 4 1s, 4 2s, 4 3s, 4 4s, all the way through to 4 9s. And we know that because there's going to be 1 of each in this row, 1 of each in this row, 1 of each in this box, and 1 of each in this box. Now, in a different colour, I'm going to highlight those cells. Maybe in that, maybe that colour's better. Now, you can see in indigo, I've highlighted 4 complete columns of the puzzle. So do we know overall what the composition of indigo is? Yes, we do. Because each column individually contains 1 of each digit, so indigo overall contains 4 of each digit. Exactly the same, you'll note, as green. So the composite in any Sudoku puzzle, it's true to say that the green digits I've highlighted are identical overall to the indigo digits. So if we remove this cell from indigo and green, what can we say about what remains in indigo and green? We agreed, correctly, that the composition of indigo overall was the same as the composition of green. So if I take the same thing out of both, the overall composition of indigo must still be the same as the overall composition of green, mustn't it? And we can do that for all the cells that have 2 colours in them. And that is the simplest way to prove Fistomathel. Now, but that's not enough. That's not enough to go where I want to go in this puzzle, because where I want to go in this puzzle is I need to use this chess knight's move restriction to force a conclusion about the actual composition of the ring. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to ask us to envisage that there is a digit in this puzzle that is not in the ring. So it does not appear in green. Now we know if there was such a digit, it would also therefore not appear in indigo, because we worked out indigo is the same as green. So let's imagine there is a digit like that. Where does that digit go in box 1? And the answer is we don't know. But it's going to be in one of those cells, isn't it? And it's going to be the same in box 3, same in box 9, same in box 7. So this hypothetical digit, if it exists, would have to go into the orange cells. Now, imagine it was in this orange flavour, this domino here. Then you can see it would be in those, wouldn't it, in box 3. It would be in these in box 9, and it would be in these in box 7. So it would be in those particular dominoes. Whereas if it's in orange, what remains in orange in box 1, it's going to be in there in box 7, there in box 9, and there in box 3. So this digit, we've sort of isolated it. It's in one of 2 sets of 4 dominoes in these boxes. But this allows us to draw a very, very powerful conclusion. So what we ask now about this hypothetical digit is where does it go in row 5, and column 5. And the knight's move is massively powerful here, because if there is such a digit, let's imagine it was in the orange congregation. It couldn't be in these cells now, could it? Because both of these cells see both of these because of the knight's move constraint. So this digit in column 5 couldn't be in there. It can't ever be in the ring, so it's not in green. It can't be in here because these see those 2 in box 9. It can't be in the ring. So this digit has to be in one of these cells. And the same logic is true in row 5, because this domino and this domino rule it out of these dominoes. So it has to be in column 5 in the middle box and in row 5 in the middle box. And the only cell that meets both of those criteria is the very central cell of the puzzle. So if there is such a digit that is not in the Fistomathel ring, in a knight's move Sudoku, you can prove that digit must be in the middle. How many digits can we put in the middle of this puzzle? 1. We can't make this simultaneously a 5 and a 6. That won't work. So there is one digit that's possible. And just to complete the proof, I mean, if on the other hand, the digits were in grey originally, you can see the logic's identical. Where are you putting grey in row 5? It can't go in those because of the knight's move constraint. So it's going to be in there, and then in column 5 it'll be in there, and it'll still end up in the middle. So that is a little digression into set theory. And why is that interesting me in this puzzle? Well, the reason is this. In this puzzle, I know almost the entire congregation of digits that are appearing in these corners. There's an absolute plethora of 1s and 2s. There's a couple of 3s and a couple of 4s. And to put that another way, how many free digits are there? Digits I can choose in these corners. Well, in this, there's one digit that isn't 1, 2, or 4. In this, there's one digit. In this, there's one digit. And in this, there's one digit that are not in the circles. And yet, we know, because we can only put one digit in the middle that isn't in the ring and therefore isn't in the corners, I must have a whole plethora of high digits in these corner things. Because let's say, there's no 6 in any of these corners, then we know 6 must go in the middle. But that would mean 7, 8, and 9 have to appear in the corners, and they haven't yet. Now, we have had a 5 in this box, so we don't have to worry about 5. But of the digits 6, 7, 8, and 9, which have made exactly 0 appearances so far in the corners, 3 of those must appear in the corners, because I can't put 2 of them in the middle cell of the grid. So this must be a 6, 7, 8, 9. This must be a 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are different, by the way. And we know that we can't put all of them in the corners, because I could put 1 of 6, 7, 8, 9 in there, 1 of 6, 7, 8, 9 in there, and 1 of 6, 7, 8, 9 in there. So I've still got 1 left out. That's going to have to go in the middle by the logic we've just been doing. And so and this digit is different from... So the final one is in there. I'm going to colour these just to see, because I know these are all different. And there's one in there as well, which will make... I don't really want to use... I love using purple, but I'm probably not going to here. I'll use orange. There's an orange 6, 7, 8, 9 in one of those. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean anything? So yellow is in one of those. Yellow's in one of these. I mean, maybe we do have to go completely ham on our pencil marking. Or maybe not. Or maybe... Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to do, actually. I'm not actually seeing anything very good that's emerging from this cloud of fog that I've just created. Oh dear, oh dear. Sorry, I think maybe I've totally misled you and I've overcomplicated this and it hasn't actually helped us, which is very distressing, frankly. Or is... I don't know. I really don't know. Could we... I mean, this one feels like it might want to be a little bit restricted. This can't be a 4-5 pair, so it can't have 4 on it. So 4 in box 3 is in one of 3 places, so this can't be a 4. I mean, that is a tiny bit interesting, actually. I'm a bit embarrassed if this is the way we should have gone, because I think I've just proved something unnecessary. But I can now ask a question about where 4 is in box 2. because it can't be in this row, and it can't be in that little cell now either. Because if this was a 4, where would we put 4 in this box? It can't go there by Knight's Move, and it can't go there by Sudoku. So that's not a 4. The 4's not in these cells by Sudoku. So the 4 is in one of 3 places, which means that's not a 4. So I've now got a 4 in this domino, which I definitely didn't have before. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. I think that is... This is a slightly mad point, but I think it is important, actually. Because now I'm going to use FISTMFL. I'm going to look there, and I'm going to say, in these corners, I've got a 4 in that 2x2 and a 4 in that 2x2. And that tells me that this ring, the FISTMFL ring, the red ring, has to have 2 4s in it. Now, I've just proved there's a 4 in that domino. So that in terms of the ring, where are we putting our 2 4s? Because now we can't put them in any of those cells. This cell can't be a 4, because the 4 is in the corner in box 9. And I can't put 2 4s in there, because that just won't work by Sudoku. So the only place I've got left for a 4, for a second 4, is here. So that is a 4, and therefore that is a 3. Right, where's 3 now? In box 9. It can't be there, because it would be a Knight's Move away from itself. So 3 is down here. So, that's great. So where's 3 in row 7? Not there, not there. It's got 1 place. And that's great for the follow. Well, it's great for 2 reasons. It might be great for yellow, which is now not in that cell. But it's also great for our second 4 in the ring, which now has 1 exact position, which is there. So now this is a high digit, because this digit sees, well, it's got to be consecutive with this, but it sees a 5, because there's a 5 in one of these, and the Knight's Move therefore allows us to rule 5 out of this cell. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's got to be colourable. So it's either indigo or orange. Orange in row 7 is in one of those 2 cells. Right, that's quite good. So orange in column 7 is in one of these cells. I'm steadfastly trying to use yellow. Oh no, could that one be yellow? Oh, let's get rid of the ring. Yeah, because the red colouring is not actually helping me there. Yellow is in one of those 3 cells. That is true, but I think it probably could be in this one. Okay, now I'm stuck. Okay, indigo is in one of those cells. So indigo is in one of these 3 cells. Now, 4 in the middle box, please be restricted. 4 in the middle has been available. Look, where's 4 in the middle box now? This 4 rules out those, that 4 rules out those, 4 is placed in the middle. That might be massive, because can we? Yes, we can. Where's 4 in row 5? There. So that's not yellow anymore. Well, that's great. Look, 4, 5. That 4 sees this one by Knight's Move. Let's double click our 4s. This 4 sees that one. So 4 is... this is a 2-4. This is good. This is good, because this being a 2-4 means it's not the orange. Because remember orange? Orange was what we decided was the high digit that had to appear in this 2x2. So we now can exactly place that now. So orange in box 8 is in one of 2 places. It could be here. Okay, that is yellow. That might be wrong, but I think it is yellow. The reason I think this is yellow is it must be a coloured digit. It's not green. It's not orange from what we've just seen. And if this cell was indigo, you couldn't put indigo in column 7 because this cell being indigo would rule all 3 of those out for being indigo. So that must be exactly yellow. So yellow is in one of 2 places now in box 5. And it might do something. Where's... No, I don't know actually. Where is... Where's 5 in box 4? Don't know, but it's in one of 2 places. So this isn't 5 now in box 5. So 5 is in one of 3 positions. Can we do better than that? If that was 5, I'd know that was yellow. Not sure. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if you can see it. I can't see how to do that. Can I not? Have I got all my... No, I haven't got all my 4s. Where is... Oh, nearly. Where's 4? Yeah, that's very straightforward. Where's 4 in column... In column 5? It's only got 1 place. Sorry about that. That's very straightforward. So 4 is in a domino down here. It looks like 4s are a bit like 2s. We can nearly do them, but the last pairing is sort of, unless there's a knight's move reaching in, which I don't think there is. I'm not sure we can actually get that. Okay, well that's still a small win for the goodies. So 5 now is in one of 3 places in box 2. So that takes 5 out of that cell, look. This can't be 5 because it would see all 3 of those pencil marks, this one by the knight's move, those 2 by Sudoku. So 5 is in one of 2 places now in box 3. And obviously if this was 5, that would then be a 6. This digit can't be a 5 now, because that would knock a 5 out of both of those. So 5 is in, it's in a whole welter of places in box thingy. Box thingy being box 6. Alright, where's 5 in row 7? It's not there. So it is in one of those 3. Now, can we use that to our advantage somehow? If I knew it was on here, that would be fascinating. But I don't think I do. I don't know. It's probably possible to do something here, but I don't know what it is. 5. So 5 is in one of those. I really want to try and get it on some of these lines, don't I? That would be ideal. But how do we do that? Can that be 5? That would be a 6. Lots of these lines are really trying hard to be 5, 6, I feel. I just don't quite know how to use that. So, okay, one of those is indigo in this column. No, that's not true. That could be indigo, that could be indigo. No, that doesn't, ooh, that's tricky, but that doesn't work. If this was indigo, this is an important point perhaps. If this was indigo, because neither of these could be indigo, this would be indigo in column 7. And we'd have indigo here indigo here, and then an indigo in row 8 would have to go there, but they would be a night's move away from one another. So this is not indigo, but it's not yellow and it's not green, so that is orange, which means this is not orange. And that means, okay, so that means that orange, there's an orange-yellow pair, which knocks 5 out of this digit, this cell in box 5. So these are 6, 7, 8, 9 in some order. And this, maybe I've got to colour 5 actually. Maybe I've been short-sighted there and I should have been colouring 5 as well. But indigo is in one of those cells now. That's true. So indigo, oh no, that's so nearly powerful. Indigo in box. If that's 5, sorry, no, if that's indigo, that's indigo. Indigo would be in one of those 2 cells. But there's no, I don't think there's a reason this can't be indigo. It's become a proper Knight's Move puzzle, hasn't it? It really has. And I still can't really judge whether or not... Oh, I just got something completely random. Where's orange in that box? I was going to say, I can't judge how... it's got to go in that cell. I can't judge how useful... Oh, this is huge. That being orange means this is now yellow, look. And that's now orange in the middle box, so we must be able to do something with this. So yellow is now in one of 3 places in box 6. I should complete thoughts, shouldn't I, before I go off on little flights of fancy. What I was going to say is I can't tell whether all of that theory that we did was worthwhile or not. Orange is in one of these. Orange is in one of those, which is almost quite cool, isn't it? This being orange takes orange out of here. So orange is in a domino. Where's... Oh, nearly. So nearly. Where's orange in box 2? It's actually only got 2 places it can go into. You can sometimes do a trick. It doesn't work here with this sort of pattern. You actually know if you get this sort of pattern that one of those must be orange. Because imagine that neither of these was orange, then you'd have an orange there and an orange in one of these 2, and that's impossible. So we know one of those is orange, which takes orange obviously out of this cell, but we'd already taken it out of there by other means, so we can't really use that fact. Oh, bother. I can't see how to do that. Right, so we need more thought. We need more thought. That might be easier said than done. We could argue about... No clue. I don't know. Let me... Here's a very simple question. This is a terrible question. Where's 5 in row 5? Why couldn't... Oh, yes, it can't go here because of the 5 pencil mark in box 3. So that is legitimate that it's not here. But now it's just placed. So that... Maybe 5's... Maybe I should have coloured 5s. Let's have a colour for 5. Let's go red, or do you think that's a bit too garish? Maybe blue. So 5... So now we've got a blue... We've got a blue down here. How many 5s have actually... I haven't put many 5s in. But I have got a 5 in one of those, a 5 in one of these. And in this row, we now know we need an indigo, and that's only got 1 place it can live, and that's exactly here. And that means that this is definitely not indigo, which I think we had an inkling of before when we thought about whether this could be indigo. So how does that help us? Is an interesting question. The answer to which is I don't know. Green is now in one of those 3. So that sort of is the panoply, isn't it? These digits are the green digit, the yellow digit, and the 5 digit. And that digit isn't it the same as that digit? Yeah, this digit here has to find a home in this box. Now we know that this digit is not 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be 5, but effectively it's in this P pentomino here. So it must go there. I don't really know how to record that. I think I'll just label it A and then say A is up there somewhere, which we're now getting into the realms of madness. No, never a good thing to do. What about then? Oh, that's so, yeah. No, it doesn't work. I was going to say, where's the second 3 in the Fistamafel ring, but I didn't realise I've already got 2, so I don't need any more of those. Yellow reaches in there and sees that cell by knight's move, so yellow is in a domino right up here now. So yellow is in one of those cells as well. But is that helpful? So that's indigo or green. Those both need to be coloured. Oh, I don't know. It's become full-on colouring, hasn't it, this one? What about... No, that doesn't seem to work. I was going to say, what about 5 in box 8? But I don't think that is a good question after all. This is definitely not a 3. That is very clear. There's a 3 here and there's a 3 over there. So, gosh, I mean, here's a very strange point. Where's 5 in column 7? I don't know is the answer, but I think looking at our pencil marking, 5 is, let's actually put them in. 5 in this column seems to either be here or here, and both of those are on funny little lines which can't have 4 on them, which means 6 is in this cell or this cell. Okay, that's weird. Right, so what I'm saying there, which I think is true, is because 5 in the column is in one of these, this or this is a 6. Now, doesn't that mean, whichever one of those is true, none of those can be 6? It's simply impossible. Because if this is a 5, that's a 6, and if this is a 5, that's a 6. So 6 is at the top of this column. And there might be other cells that cut. So 6 is either there or there. So if it's here, we know that that's a 6, don't we? If it's here, we know that that is not a 6. So this cell is never 6 either. So that digit is from 5, 7, 8, 9. That's probably not going to be enough. So 6 is in one of those 2. Are there any other cells that are being affected by that logic? I don't know. I don't know, actually. If this had 6 in it, then that would be 6. That's impossible. That's weird. That's a very, very strange deduction. Yeah, this is indigo and orange. And if we look at where indigo and orange are in this box, they are not there. They are definitely not there. So if one of these was 6, no, that is okay. Sorry, because this can't be 6. I think we are saying that's true, because that would put a 6 down here where it can't go. So actually, indigo is 7, 8, or 9. So, if I knew which of those was wow, it's very interesting, isn't it? What about Maverick making a low pass? Okay. I'm not sure. That felt like it. Hang on. Is indigo down here with 3? Yeah, that's okay. So this is a 3 and indigo. So these digits include green then, because green is most certainly not. Right. So this congregation is the same as that congregation. And therefore in this row, indigo, oh yeah, we can see it. Where's indigo in this row? Indigo's at the end with orange. But now I'm going to get this digit. That's got to be green and blue. So now, this is good. This has actually worked, because now green has to be there. So green in this box is now in one of those. This is great. It's actually doing things. It's very odd. But now that can't be green by Sudoku. So, and these digits now must include an indigo, which must be in that domino. So we actually know what the composition of this column is. Now, so green is in one of those cells now. Indigo, can we do more magic here? For magic it is. Magic is what is going on. In case you were worried about that. No, I really think it might be. Yellow. I've got 5 down there. I think it might have been a useful thing that we started penciling the 5s. So I know there's a green up there. I know there's an orange up there. It would be really rather nice if we knew that there was a... No, but I don't think we do. Yeah, I've got to be careful here. It's tricky. It is tricky. Now, at any moment, it could be, a knight's move reaching into another box in a place where I haven't considered it, and it doing, tremendous work. Yeah, maybe what I should have done, because green is never in the ring. I could have used that, couldn't I? I think I could have used that sooner to limit green in and around the piece. I just didn't think of it. The other thing we've got to be careful about, is for all the coloured digits, they only make one appearance in the ring. That's quite a thought. Yeah. So how could that be 5? No. Maybe it could. Actually, I'm not sure. If that's... No, I am right. I said, and it was true, this can't be 5. Oh, it's actually obvious it can't be 5. I think this is an anachronism, this because I've locked 5 into these 2 cells a while ago. I just didn't remove this pencil mark. So 5 is in one of those 2 cells in the top row. Yeah, I don't think that's actually going to do enough. I hope it does, but I don't think it is. This needs to be coloured. It's not a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, so it is a coloured digit. Now, it's not orange and it's not green. It's not orange by Sudoku and it's not green. So it's either yellow or it's indigo. Now, is there a way we know which of those is true? I think it can be either, can't it? That is yellow or indigo. And indigo in this box is in one of a few different places, which is very... it's nearly impossible for that to be indigo. So then that would be, and that would be. Yeah, so everything's very close to... It's very close, but we're not really there, are we? I think we've still got an epiphany to have if we're going to solve this puzzle. That's my feeling. But I'm not sure where that epiphany's coming from. It's probably from one of these funny little lines. Yes, you can almost say something interesting about yellow here, because yellow is consecutive with orange, but yellow is consecutive with blue or indigo as well. So that digit and that digit are 2 apart. They're sort of... they are 2 apart. So if this is 5, that's 7. If these are both even, they're both 6 and 8. Which is nearly good, but it's not good enough, I fear. Okay. So how do we make more progress is the next question. Can we rule 5 out of anywhere in this box? Because then I would have to colour that cell. I know 5 is in this domino. I don't see how to do that. Or perhaps... is there a way? I know those are the same. So I know these 2 are the same as those 2. I don't see how to do that. Is there a way I know that 5 can't be... I just don't think there is. I think I'm struggling there. What about yellow? Yellow sees that one. Oh, that's good. This is important, because that one is not yellow. Does that mean it's forced to be 5, or is that yeah, what is this then? Because in terms of coloration, it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not indigo, it's not orange, it's not yellow or green. It's 5. That's all that can be. So that places a couple of 5s in the grid, which is huge. Well, I was going to say it's huge, but I actually don't think it will be. But it might do something. It does mean this is a 6, but I don't know what colour it is. It's either... Oh, okay. Although, right, I now know that this sequence of digits includes yellow for what that's worth. Yeah, that's important. Right, wow. Blobz, this is very interesting. Okay, now, many things. Firstly, orange is not 6 anymore. So yellow or green is 6. Oh, and that digit had to go there, didn't it? That's what we said about that digit. But this is where I want to look. I want to think about yellow in this congregation, because it was a point that we made earlier. I can't remember where I made it. But you can see that here's the question I want to ask. Is it possible, given yellow is in one of those 3, and given yellow is in one of those 3, is it possible that neither of these is yellow? No, because the pattern of yellows will be in this pattern, and you can't put 2 yellows in that pattern in a nice smooth Sudoku. So one of these is yellow, which means this is not yellow, and it means that is indisputably yellow. And now these are not yellow. This is the same as that, look. It's orange indigo. Which probably is important. So this is yellow, which could include a 6. Okay. These are 7, 8, 9. So these are 7, 8, 9. So 6 is either yellow or green, which accords with what we've got over here. Yeah, 6 is definitely not orange. 6 is not orange. Ah, this 5 is reaching into the middle. Beautiful. That's huge. It's huge, isn't it? Because now this is 5. So yellow is 6. Yellow is 6 by that little diagonal thing. So yellow is 6. So these two are both now yellow. So they are not green. So now this seems to be the only place for green in box 9. This is no longer able to be yellow. This is no longer able to be yellow. And this being 6 and this being 6 makes this a yellow 6. So that is not yellow. This is a yellow 6. Yellow's in 6. So this is not a 6 either. So yellow is in some congregation there. This is 7, 8, 9. So this is not 6. This is 7, 8, 9. Now, can we keep the 5s going? Maybe not, but it's bizarre. Oh, yes, I can get a 5 here, though. So that's 5. Therefore, this is green and not 5. There must be an 8 on this consecutive pair because a consecutive pair of digits must include an even digit. That's the nature of consecutive pairs. So now orange is 7 or 9. Ah, and this 6 tells us it's 7. Sorry, I didn't see that. So orange is 7, which means these two are 8, 9. Orange is 7. 7 is in there. This is an 8 or a 9. There's a 7 there, but there isn't a... Ah, and is there a 7 on that one? Yeah, there is. Look at this. This has got to be 7, 8. It can't be 7, 6. So that's 7, 8. Looking at this, which makes the corner digit a 9 and the middle digit an 8 of all things. Now, this is a 9 by Sudoku, so this is a 9 by Knight's Move. That's a 7. I've no idea what's going on now with my colouring. I'm just sort of trying to use the principles I've got at my disposal, and then I'm going to correct the colouring at the end. I'm just doing Sudoku, actually. This is 7, 9. That 9 is nice. So 9, 7, 7, 8. I've got to put 8 in this box, so that's going to be there. This is going to be 5 now. 5 can't go here by Knight's Move, so 5 goes there. Now these digits are a 3, 9 pair. We look over there and see if we can do anything, and apparently we can't. And these digits are 8, 9, and 4. And that isn't... So, that's an 8 because of this. Oh, in fact, where's the 9 in the box? It's got to go there by Knight's Move. Oh, no, 3 in the corner. Rotten. 4. Okay, in this column, we haven't got a 9. Or we haven't got an 8 in that row. We've not got a 5 in that. Oh, we've finished it, have we? We finished the puzzle somehow. It was a flurry at the end once we spotted what was going on. So what we need to do is to correct the colouring. How do we do that? Let's double click 7s. 7s are always orange. And then we want to double click 8s. And they're always meant to be green. We need to double click 9s, and they're meant to be indigo. And 6s are always meant to be, you've guessed it, yellow. And 5s were meant to all be coloured, weren't they? So let's double click those. 5s are meant to always be blue. And this is not indigo. We shouldn't be left with anything that's got a hatched colouring anymore. It should all be completely clear. And that is Happy Birthday Blobz. Very clever puzzle. Very well set. And I don't know how much of the theory was... I think some of it was probably necessary because I couldn't really see how to start doing colouring until I did the potato head. But let me know in the comments how you got on with the puzzle. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.